The camera is now looking back towards the rear of Dial Arch, and we're looking through what was the original gateway to the central range. The red and white walls are the original walls, and you can see how the gateway was blocked in by the yellow stock brick structures that relate to later phases of use of this building, when the whole courtyard was filled in under a roof. Looking at structures relating to the steam phase, but before the introduction of steam, all of the gun boring equipment was turned by horsepower, and the horses would have had to walk around a central axis, turning cogs, which would then translate their power horizontally into the actual boring equipment. And we think that this circular structure here could be the centre of a horse gin, and that this southernmost courtyard just north of the Dial Arch buildings was roofed in at quite an early stage when the Verbruggens introduced their horizontal boring mills, and this could be one of the late 18th century remains of the first horizontal horse boring mill at Woolwich Arsenal. What these sort of elongated holes in the gravel are, well, they're the last resting place of 4th century Roman inhabitants of Woolwich, and these are all graves. We've dug about 140 Roman graves. The red and white structure that you can see now is the underground drainage for the roof of the central range of the Great Pile, and we think that the roof was double pitched and that the roof was drained internally by pipes coming down the insides of the pillars, one of which you can see just up there on the right, and drained into these brick culverts and out of sight down towards the sea. What we're doing now is we're looking west along the central range of the Great Pile. The red and white walls, one on the north side and one on the south side, clearly define the width of that range. And we're looking at the drainage system from another angle, and you can see how the brick pillars are paired off with the drains leading from the brick pillars to the central culverted drainage gully. And later additions of brick bases, either for a more substantial roof or maybe for engine bases in the mid-ground. Right down this way is the gatehouse into the big courtyard that was between the northern range and the middle range. The gatehouse comprised of 2 rooms, one on the left, one on the right, made of the red and white bricks. And in the middle, what we have here is a later structure which we know to be a weighbridge. Here are the big stone foundations of the weighbridge. We have an angled slot through the wall into the office, which would have taken the arm
Right, yeah.
to the weighbridge, so that the man in the office knew exactly how heavy whatever he was weighing was. We're century maps, so. The diagonal slot that you're looking at now brought the way arms from the way bridge in the mid-ground through into the foreground, into the office where the weighmaster would have been, and his office would have probably had a little window through into the space where the way arm was. This structure is made out of the same sandstone that we see over on the engine house. Don't know what its function is, but it's very, very large, and it's very large bolts that would presumably have either held machinery or more of these stone blocks at a higher level. The stone blocks seem to sit around this trough, which has two massive iron uprights on its north face. I'm afraid I don't know what this is. Well, we might have these here. Might take it. This was the boiler house. Flips here, with these flues being the fire boxes under the boilers. So that the fire was stoked from that end. And these flues led down into this subterranean flue, which runs out of this wing of the building. Across the site, over there, and back into the central, what was the original central range, into what we think was a central chimney stack, which never really moved over time, but had different flues connected into it. Go back down into the actual flues. You can see here how the flues align with the fracture bricks, and how you've got recess there for a damper to damp the air outtake. Yeah. It's quite a substantial structure. 3 of these chutes. 1, 2, 3.
3 chutes.
Cut that, and then come around and look down and see this is very intact, this flue. We dug out a lot of the fill that was filling it from its demolition. You can see the fill in the chutes going down into the subterranean chamber. And here's where we dug out the damper. It sat across the end of the upper flue before it shot down into the lower chamber. At that point, the flue opens up slightly wider. With all this weather's terrible. Right?
Yep, got it.
On top of the arch through the original coal cellars for the boiler house. Now the boiler house I've just shown you is above these. We've broken away all the concrete that's been put down for the boiler house floor that you've just seen. This is underneath the boiler house. And these brick arches here are secondary. Originally they were spanned this way, like that. When they installed this new boiler house that I showed you just now, they had to make it strong enough to receive the concrete and the boiler and the fire and everything else. So you've got very strong brick arches, but they split the original house into 2. Divided walls, took the arch. If you come round here, you can probably get them coming out. They've been blocked up with these walls. They say this has gone out with you. But you can see how the cellars have been arches on big layer of concrete and the new floor for the new boiler house on the top of the channel here. So imagine up here, you've got your big boilers operating on this floor level, about this level here. So like this, it's set floor in there. You can imagine that the end wall that you see there wasn't there. That's later blocking. They blocked off the end of the cellars, filled it with rubble, and then installed this yellow brick stock structure as a belt drive, part of a belt drive inside it. It's that on brass bearing. Well, all that we can say of it is that it's probably taking its drive from the main engine house, which we'll see soon, and that it could be some form of lifting gear to take the coal up to the boiler house from the coal cellars. But all we've got is that part of the metalwork left and a few other bits of metalwork.
So we're not looking for machinery that's going to drive anything. It's purely from a coal from the supply at the moment with that. Yeah.
That's our best guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see how when they installed that yellow brick stock structure, they had to chop through the wall, see the ragged end to the wall.
What was that?
There.
Is that a flue effect on the bottom, that plate there?
No, that's just a bit of rubbish thrown into the concrete.
Yeah.
So, the way we're thinking about this now is that the coal cellars were loaded from the road, the stokers worked off the floor down there, and they loaded these coal. We're looking at the other side of the coal cellars now. You can see how later in life the stoking floor is covered in concrete with a new floor on top. But we've broken the concrete away and you can see the flagstone floor. So the coal cellars were then open at this end. None of those structures were there. On this flagstone floor, which was the stoker's floor, spoke wires that are associated with this boiler base here. You can see we have in here 4 flue lines, but they're in 2 pairs. You have an intake at the far end, which will draw the air round the fire, stoking, back out through the narrow part over at the end over there, and then up through that flue, that blackened line flue over there, and curled round is where we have our chimney. Back over there. This is the earlier flue. The house on this side, massive sandstone block, laid in a T-shape within 4 walls. We have the boiler room next to the engine room. And what we think, we don't quite know how the machinery is sat on these foundations. But what we do know is that we've got a large void here. The void coming through here that we haven't dug out yet. Coming all the way through this sandstone block. Here. What we're that this is the flywheel pit in here. And the engine is standing about where the camera is, and you'd had a massive flywheel spinning in here. Yeah, this is just running through here. So the reason we think there's a flywheel here is because of the bolts and the fixings that we have this floor at this end. Yep. And this is where it gets interesting. Come back, all is forgiven. See here, imagine a big flywheel turning in here. You've got these bolts that are paired through here, and on the far side where we're sweeping up, this we think is where the main power shaft was. through here. In fact, if you look along the line of it, you can see a notch taken out of the wall opposite, just over there. We think that the power drive went all the way through here, through that notch, into that building over on the far
So I was
side.
looking at that would be either a belt or a chain to go down to drive that one through there.
Exactly, and that's why this big slot's here.
Yeah.
Take that belt and chain.
That's there.
And as you come this way, this large piece of iron here. This large piece of iron here, drive shaft comes into this
Drive shaft to go right through there.
U-shape here.
With a U shape there.
This structure will take a belt drive through this wall to that room there. You've got one here.
3 different drive structures that go through there. Yeah. Knock it off, Paul.
Hang on. Now looking along the line of what we think was the main drive shaft, in the mid-ground you see a large metal structure, the lower part of which is U-shaped, which seems to carry the circular drive shaft underneath the larger metal structure on top. And we think that structure, with the metal in the wall, allows belt drives to go through the wall into another workshop on the other side of that wall. How this was working, but we don't know exactly how the engine sat, but we think that this is the main this is for power. Along the outside of this building, and this the power is taken into that room via these 2 metal gateways. You can probably get a close up of that. I think what was the central chimney for all of the for the primary boiler house and for the secondary boiler house. That's if they operated independently and one succeeded the other. They may have operated together. Earlier on, we looked at the boiler house down in the cellar. We saw a flue coming out. From the cellar over here.
The cellar over there.
Flue
comes through here.
And into this area here. And meets the flue that we saw underground on the secondary boiler house, which comes in behind the camera. From here into the same location. So all the flues are meeting at this point.
All the flue feet at that point.
And this brick structure here, here, we think it's the chimney foundation.
Chimney foundations.
I don't know if you can go the way around, that this was original here, and that this was added in here. And there's a third flue coming up down here, where you can see just here how this sandstone structure has chopped and blocked the end of this flue off, just down here. So we know that this structure is earlier than that structure.
Uncovered it and cleaned it up marvellously, really.
Yep, off you go.
Watch out, chap.
pass, cover your trouble on that, Jack. filming now on sightline 1D80N. Filming now on 1070N. Filming now on 1060N. We're now filming on 105N. We are now at 104N. Still filming from 104N. The number on this piece of wall is 2214. We're now filming on the concrete on 2702.